Now, we're often told that greater diversity leads to better decision-making and more creativity. But now there's hard evidence that it benefits the bottom line too. Well, new research shows that FTSE 350 companies, where women make up at least a third of their executive committee, have a profit margin more than 10 times greater than those with no women. But in April this year, just 13 chief executives of our biggest 350 companies were women. So why is progress so slow, and how much is it hurting the profitability of firms? Well, joining me now to talk about this is the co-founder of The Pipeline and the former Labour MP, Lorna Fitzsimons. Lorna, good to see you. So how do you arrive at this claim? You've crunched the numbers pretty thoroughly, I take it.
Yes, Ian, you know, because you've covered the reports over the years. And the top line is this information comes via the London Stock Exchange and from the companies themselves. And in 1 year, because we count April to April from the 17th to the 17th, public companies forwent £47 billion of pre-tax profits because they didn't have enough women on their executive committees.
Isn't it the case, though, Lorna? I mean, the way you've measured profitability here, is it not also a factor that sectors where women are underrepresented on boards, like construction, say, are not as profitable as other areas?
No, it's not the case. If you look at retail, which is lamentable, really, given the fact that they recruit over 80% of women at entry level compared to blokes, there is a very straight correlation between Dunhelm at the top, which are the best performing company in the FTSE, with 3/4 of their executive committee being female, and the worst performing company in retail having 0 women on their exco, and the net profit margin is literally just exponentially. It's a direct correlation, and you see it in virtually every sector.
It's not all bad news, your report this year. I mean, there has been a 2.7% rise in female membership of executive committees. Good, but not good enough, I guess you'd say, would you?
Well, I think compared to, I mean, first of all, let's say credit where credit's due, 2.7% is the biggest rise in year that we've seen in the 5 years that we've been counting what's happened with FTSE executive committee membership. However, and there's a big however, if you take how few female chief executives there are more blokes called Peter than there are female chief executives in the FTSE 100. You realise that we have to improve the pipeline. And you will know well, Ian, that the pipeline needs more women with profit and loss roles. So those roles on the executive committee that make money for the company. And you will see that 90% of those roles on executive committees are held by men. Indeed, 68% of FTSE executive committees have no women holding P&L roles. And so the springboard that you would hope to see with that increase of 2.7%, so that you're likely to get a bigger pool of candidates for future chief executive positions, just isn't there.
Lorna, can this situation ever be changed without positive discrimination?
If companies, there isn't a company that I know or you know that when they set their mind to achieving a target that they don't achieve it. This means that chief executives and chairs and boards need to basically understand this is a business imperative. And we as an economy cannot forego £47 billion in pre-tax profits. We just can't do it in a COVID era. And in the end, your viewers will know very well that the major investors in the public companies that are listed on the stock exchange are our pensions. So we are losing out twice as the public. We're losing out because of our pensions, and we're losing out in terms of less tax paid. So every which way, this is a business and political imperative.
All right, Lorna Fitzsimons, very good to talk to you again. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Ian.